Hello, fellow makers. This is Ryan with Ryan's Cosplay Closet. Welcome to my lab. Today, we're going to talk about EVA foam, also known as ethylene vinyl acetate foam, which is this stuff right here. And this is the stuff I use to make all of my props. Well, yes, all of my props. That Mandalorian blaster is not made of EVA foam. That is made of plastic. I just painted that one. We're not talking about that today. Today is all about foam. Now, most of the time, all you will need to cut foam is a X-Acto knife or a box cutter, like this one. Now, when you are cutting EVA foam, it is important to have a very sharp blade, like this. Now, also when you are cutting EVA foam, you will want, if you are cutting a straight line, a metal straight edge is very helpful. Especially if you are anything like me and your hand wanders a little bit. Now, just line up your straight edge along your mark. Now, when you are starting your cut, you do not want to start it here, because the tip of your blade needs to be touching your cutting mat or your table or whatever. Don't cut on your table. Your parents might get upset. So, then, keeping the tip of your blade on your cutting mat, you will pull your blade through your foam. Just like that. And now, you have a perfectly clean edge on your foam. Now, sometimes you might not want a straight cut. You might need to do a curve. A metal straight edge will not help you in this. So, just, again, keeping your blade, the tip of your blade on your cutting mat, just do the best you can. Go slow if you have to. And pull your blade through your foam, being careful to keep your blade away from your other hand. Go slow if you need to. And it's okay if the cut ends up looking like this. It does not have to be perfect. So, just go back and pull your blade through your foam again. And there you go. And again, it is okay if your edge is not perfectly smooth, because you can always sand this and this. Now, that is for the thinner EVA foam. Thicker foam, you cut pretty much the same way. What you will need: sharp box cutter, metal straight edge, and make your cut. Be sure to close your box cutter when you are done using it. And this is why you want to cut all the way through your foam on the first time, if possible. But if not, just do it again. And again, nice clean edge. Now, you may need to cut a hole in your EVA foam. For that, I recommend using a hole drill. I got this at Hobby Lobby, but they also carry them at TNT Cosplay Supply. They are not sponsoring this video. I just love their stuff. Now, this is a fairly simple tool. What you'll do is push it into your foam and twist. Back and forth, gently. Pull up. And now we have a nice little hole cut in the foam. Then, to remove the little circle from this, what I do is apply a little bit of leverage, okay, a little bit more, and out it goes. And these can be very useful for when you're making rivets or screw heads or whatever. I actually have, again, of all kinds of various shapes. You'll see a whole bunch of little circles and squares and rectangles and domes and whatnot. Yeah. Because you never know when you might need a rivet. Now, also, comes in very handy, is this bevel cutter. And another one from TNT Cosplay Supply. Yeah, like that. Now, this is a fairly simple tool as well. You can use power tools to do the same thing, but I didn't really want to go down to the garage today. So, this is what we're going to do. Now, let's use this one. What you will do is you will lean this thing so it lays flat on your foam. And this will give you a perfect 45-degree angle all the way through your cut. Like so. Also, this is a very good example of when your blade is starting to get dull. You see here how it kind of just tore through the foam instead of cutting it? Yeah. You want to cut your foam. You don't want to tear your foam. But we can clean this up with a Dremel. Now that the cut is made, we can hold that same angle. It's much easier this way. Like that. And now, for the cleanup, the sanding. For this part, you'll want some protection, because sanding creates a whole lot of foam dust, and you don't want to breathe that in. So, put on at least a face mask. And some eye protection. Normally, I put on this hoodie, but since we're just going to do a little bit, I'm not going. Now, you will want to use a rotary tool for this. And you'll simply go back, over your edge, like so. Adjust the speed accordingly. Until you achieve the desired result. Whatever your desired result may be. And the edge is much cleaner now. And you can do that with this or this. Doesn't matter. Now, we've talked about how to cut EVA foam. We'll have to talk about how to glue it back together. We'll be using barge cement for this. And they're not sponsoring this video either. This is just what I found works best so far. For this, what you'll want to do is apply a thin layer of barge cement, onto both of the edges you want to attach. Wait for it to dry. This can take anywhere from about 5 to 15 minutes. And then you will attach the edges together. Like that. I'll just demonstrate. But for that, you want to use some protection. Because you don't want to get this stuff in your hands or your eyes or your lungs. Now, most of the time there is a brush already attached in the lid of your barge cement. So, just apply a thin layer. This would probably be a much smoother application if the edge is smoother, but to both of the surfaces you want to attach. And be sure to close up your barge cement. And we're going to put this right in here. So that way we will limit the fumes as much as possible. Now that that's done, another little trick you can do with EVA foam is adding texture. And you can use a rotary tool for this, but that's going to be in another video. You can also do what I call the score and heat method. Basically, what you'll do is you'll cut about halfway through your EVA foam. A little bit more. You don't want to cut all the way through. See? Not cut all the way through. That's what we're going for. And then you will apply some heat to your foam. Like this. You don't want to apply heat directly on your cutting mat because that'll warp your mat. You don't want to do that. I've done that before. It's not fun. So, apply some heat. This will also seal your foam, which we'll get to that in a minute. Now, as you can see, the foam is getting shiny. That means the top layer is sealing. Those little pores in there are shrinking, which is also good. But for this, see how that line opened up there? That is because the heat shrunk the surface of the foam and caused the small cut we made to widen. And I've done that trick so many times. It's great. Alright. Now that we've talked about that, and now we're going to talk about sealing EVA foam. First of all, why? Well, if you look here, this is the part of the foam that is not sealed. Those pores are still their original size. These pores, however, have shrunk significantly. Now, if I were to just paint this right now, the paint would just soak into the EVA foam over here. And probably over here too. But I would need much less paint on this side than I need on this side. This also smooths out the surface of the foam. There are other things you can do to that. You don't need that. You can use Plastidip for this. This is basically rubber in a can. What you'll do is spray it onto your foam, wait about 30 minutes, then spray on another layer and another layer and another layer. When I use this, I typically do 4 to 6 layers. This shield was sealed using Plastidip. I don't know if you can see the texture on here, but that is from the Plastidip. Now, you can also use Mod Podge. This is PVA glue that you just brush onto your foam. It goes on white. It will dry clear. That is what I sealed this with. I don't know if you can see all the little brush strokes in there, but all those are from Mod Podge. You can sand this stuff to a point, but typically it needs 24 hours to cure before you can sand it. You can also wet sand it, but again, that takes about 24 hours to be ready, and you'll want many, many, many layers for wet sanding. And then there is this rapid fill. I got this from TNT Cosplay Supply. This is designed to fill in all these tiny little pores. That is its purpose. And this is designed to go over rapid fill. These two things work best when used together. What I love about rapid fill and fine finish are they are both sandable, and yet they stay flexible, like this. I used rapid fill and fine finish to seal this. As you can see, I can bend it, and there are very few marks. Now, you can also wet sand rapid fine finish, but you will need 24 hours to wait for it to cure, and then you can wet sand it. I usually start with 400 grit sandpaper for that, and then I go up to about 800, 1200, depending on how shiny I want the finished product. And, now, this should be dry. So, when you are reattaching your EVA pieces coated in barge cement, what you will do is you will attach one edge together like that, applying a little bit of force, a little bit of pressure. And then you can use the surface of your table to make sure that your seam stays nice and flush. Kind of like this. And then you can go back and sand this away. But we're not going to do that because EVA, barge cement takes about an hour for it to cure. And then you can hit it with your rotary tool and just clean that up. And that is EVA foam basics. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember to like the video, share, subscribe, all that cool fun stuff. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.